We've all seen it in the news. Someone defends themselves or their loved ones only to find themselves fighting a legal battle that can cost everything. Mortgage payments, retirement savings, even their kids' college funds, gone, just to prove they did nothing wrong. That's why Firearms Legal Protection, the official sponsor of Every Citizen Armed, exists. For as little as 33 cents a day, FLP gives you unlimited legal defense for criminal and civil cases. No caps, no hidden fees, no surprise bills. If you have to defend yourself, FLP will handle the legal battle so you can focus on what matters: your family, your future, your freedom. We insure our homes, cars, and health. Why wouldn't we protect ourselves legally when it matters most? Go to firearmslegal.com, choose your plan, and use promo code ECA at checkout for exclusive pricing. No setup fee and a locked-in lifetime rate. Protect yourself today, and Firearms Legal Protection will have your back when it matters most.
Every Citizen Armed ensures that every American patriot is prepped with knowledge, perspective, and firepower.
He counted on America to be passive. He counted wrong.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
All right, we're going to get started with the next episode of Every Citizen Armed. Today, I'm joined by a couple of BPD officers that have, in my opinion, one of the funnest jobs in their department. But I'll let them tell you a little bit about it first. So why don't you guys, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, talk a little bit about who you are and how you got into this.
My name is Tyler Schleicher, currently a senior officer at the Bakersfield Police Department and a K-9 handler. So I went to the academy when I was about 21 years old, graduated when I was 21, turned 22 shortly after. But I was born and raised in Bakersfield. Always knew I wanted to go into law enforcement and got started as soon as I could. And then went to the academy, started working on the streets, worked with a lot of good officers and good canine handlers. And that's when I realized that I wanted to go the route of a canine handler. Tested several times for it, finally got picked up for it. I've been a canine handler for almost 7.5 years. And I've been a senior officer for about 6 years. And then I've also been on the SWAT team with my partner for about 6 years as well.
So how long have you actually been an officer then?
About 11.5 years.
Okay, so quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. And enjoying it so far, evidently you're still there.
Yeah, it's something new every day. There's fun calls, and there's hard calls, and there's hard days, and there's times where morale's low, and there's better times when morale's high, but overall, it's been fun.
Oh, very good. Okay, let's get your side. I know you guys are new to this. I appreciate you coming in and sitting down with us. So, just jump in and have a conversation on it.
All right. My name's Meyer. I've been with BPD for about 6 years now, and graduated the academy in 2020. It started in 2019. Graduated in 2020. Yeah, I've been a handler now for 2.5. Maybe a little bit more years with my partner. His name's Astro. Wanted to get in law enforcement. It's kind of something that I think every little boy kind of goes through where he's like, I want to be a cop or a firefighter. And I kind of just stuck with it and wanted to do law enforcement. I got into the K-9 side of it. It was kind of funny. That's what I wanted to do going in. I love dogs. I've always had dogs. And then once I started, I didn't want to do it anymore. I'm like, I don't want to do this. It doesn't seem like it'd be that much fun. I want to go chase bad guys. I don't want to send my dog to go get bad guys. I want to do it, or chase cars and all that. And then slowly started thinking about it some more. There was an opening that they were taking another handler, so I tested for it and somehow got it.
How many handlers are there for the BPD?
There's 8 right now.
Is that kind of maxed out where they're at, or do they go a little more?
It goes back and forth.
Oh, does it?
When I first became a handler, we had about 12 teams, and we've kind of lessened our numbers and changed our schedule to where we can cover, pretty much all day, every day canine coverage with less officers.
Oh, okay. So now, do you guys work 410s?
410s right now.
410s? Is that what you? Okay.
Yeah.
That works out pretty well, I would think.
There's only there's not a lot of hours of the day that aren't covered by a dog, and then they're kind of layered to where me and him work together for all but 3 hours of our shift, and then there's another guy that's on the first 2 hours of my shift, then he goes home, and then he's still there, and then he goes home, and then I go home last.
Oh, it seems like too. I have friends that are on the BPD, and your guys' your cell phones go off, and they could call you back in pretty regular, I would imagine. And
especially for K-9, if there's not one working and there's an incident that goes out and they think they need a dog, they can call anybody, and if you're available, you're expected to go in.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
What brings to that point to where they're like, okay, we need a dog? What would be a factor to really launch that?
So we do a lot of different things with the dogs, but primarily we have to have a serious felony offense and then some sort of resistance by the suspect. So a situation that we would get called into is something like, a barricaded subject, or someone who fled after committing an offense and they think they have them contained in an area, like a residential area. We'll lock it down and we'll use the dogs to start doing what's called yard-to-yard searches, trying to locate the suspect that's hiding. So it kind of all just depends. There's a lot of approval process that has to happen before we get called out, and people that have to say, yeah, let's go ahead. I don't know. Sometimes we don't get called out when we should, and then there's times we get called out and it's like, well, this is pretty minor.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much any job. So and how long do you normally keep the dogs?
So they work usually between 6 to 8 years.
Oh, wow.
And it all depends on their health and how young they are when we get them, how healthy they stay. And then some dogs, just different breeds, will work a little longer than others. Like German Shepherds have, a tendency to get hip dysplasia and hip issues. And the Belgian Malinois, they might last a little longer, but they also don't know how to preserve themselves. So they may get hurt. So it just all depends.
They seem like I said, like an MMA fighter almost in a way, like a small. They're just go.
Oh yeah.
They don't have any shut off.
Kind of like German Shepherds if they were on crack.
Yeah,
that's nonstop. They don't. Yeah, there's no half speed with them. It's just you're getting all of it or you're getting none of it.
I saw a video a while back of it was showing it was Rogan actually showing the difference of a German Shepherd and a Malinois. Now the German Shepherd was going into a room around the chairs to get to and the Malinois just went over the top.
Yeah,
that just seems to be their makeup. So, and you guys both have that, Belgians?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you had any other dogs? Or has this been your only dog?
No, I've had the same dog the entire 7.5 years.
Oh wow.
So we're getting close to retirement.
Yeah, that's before we started talking a little bit, that's got to. Are you thinking about that?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I know is coming, and I'm just waiting for him to tell me that he's tired of working and wants to stay at home. I can still tell right now, even these last few days where we were in training all week and we weren't working our dogs and we weren't out on patrol. And the other night, my dog was just giving me hell in the backyard and not wanting to come back to me and just kind of doing his own thing and being a little terror. And I'm like, that's how I know that he's not ready to stay at home.
Yeah.
He still needs to work. So
I had a buddy who was a K-9 officer up in for Tulare County, or it might have been Visalia, and his dog was like that. And if nothing was happening, he would just get so wound up, and it was just a crazy dog. And he would tell some stories that I probably wouldn't tell on here, but I'll tell you afterwards. But when you do go out, I mean, how often a week do they call you guys out on average?
To get called out, it's maybe a couple times a year. That doesn't happen very often, and a lot of the times there's already a dog working, because we have that coverage.
Yeah.
But being on the SWAT team, we get called out maybe 8 to 10 times a year, and that's even changed recently with this new structure we have as far as call-outs go. But we get work nightly with these dogs.
Okay, that's what I mean. Yeah, so you do go out every night. Then.
Yeah, while we're working and we go to calls, it's pretty much every day that we're gonna at least do a search of a business that got burglarized or maybe someone that fled from a stolen vehicle or something like that. It's pretty much every day we're gonna get some sort of work.
Now, have you had the same dog for you? The same?
Yeah.
Usually been there a couple of years, so.
Yeah, I got him. He was between a year and a half old. And then when I got him, he was a green dog, which means he had no training, no obedience, didn't know how to walk on a leash, just like.
Oh, you get them that you? Oh, I figured they were all trained when you got them.
No, yeah, mine was not at all. So he had no prior anything. So he basically had his dog that like he knows how to bite, and that is it. Like,
Oh.
so we have to, and we still had to kind of like help him, like, hey, bite like this, not like that. So in 11 weeks, he went from just basically a bite machine to actually like fully under control and knew all of his obedience.
I like that. Now, are both your dogs, are they, drug dogs also, or just?
My dog's a bomb dog, EOD dog.
Oh, wow.
So he's trained for like explosives, and the most common usage for us is like before an event. So when like the Bakersfield Marathon, the Kern County Fair, WWE when it comes to the Dignity or whatever they call it now, Rubber Bank.
They changed
arena.
it.
Yeah, when they go to that
exactly.
arena. Any big event like that, we just do sweeps with the dog beforehand. That is probably 99% of what we get used for the bomb side.
Okay. Is there a ratio on that? So 8 dogs. I mean, are certain ones, how many are DOD comparatively?
We try to balance it out. My dog's a narcotics dog. I think we only have 2 EOD dogs that are actually like certified right now. We're supposed to get a couple more because we're a little short-handed on that side right now. So they try to keep a pretty even amount of bomb dogs and then narcotics dogs. And then at one point we had a gun detection dog as well.
Oh, really? I guess somebody was just telling me about that. They had to have a gun detection dog out. I don't remember exactly where it's at now. But the same thing. The guy said he didn't have his gun, and sure enough, he had his gun. And he got in a lot of trouble for that. So, But now when you're going out, okay, DOD dog, what type of things can you say, anyways, that what's triggering them? I mean, you ever any false triggers?
So EOD has the most odors as far as like between drug and gun and bomb. There's 16 that he's trained on. So like any one of those 16, basically ingredients that people would use to make a bomb. There could be other stuff in there too that he's like not trained on, but it will be some part of that bomb will be one of those 16 odors as far as I've been told. And false alert with a bomb dog is like not ideal because you don't
start evacuating people.
Yeah, it creates a mess. So you don't want to be wrong. He's
luckily
never, he's never false alerted with me. He pretty much knows like, I mean, they go through a lot of training of like, we'll put distraction odors out there, different kinds of odors. And if they alert on any of them, which he doesn't, like they wouldn't get their toy, essentially is how they're trained. When he finds the odor that he's supposed to, he gets his toy. And Malinois will do anything for that. So
there are things like that the dog is trained on that smells like other things that are in like fertilizer and like diesel, things like that. So it could happen. Like we do the ag show up in Tulare.
Oh, you guys go to that?
We do a sweep for them, and the dogs have hit on a pallet before, and it's like, well, this is fertilizer. It has this in there. It's more than likely not a bomb. It's just fertilizer that's there.
So when we do the sweeps, we always have a bomb tech with us that will like use common sense, I guess. Like, hey, the dog's alerted on this tank of diesel, and they're like, okay, well, that's because it smells like this or whatever. But they can check things like if the dog's like showing interest but not really alerting on something, then they'll go and check it, just make sure there's nothing in there with wires and whatnot.
Have you found any?
No.
No?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah. That's
because I think it would find us probably before we found it.
Well, we have a mutual friend actually that on your department that we had Ronnie Jeffries on a while back. And he talks about the time they did have the explosion down there on San Dimas area.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That was him and Mason both were there, actually.
Who's that?
Him and Wassner were both there.
Yeah, I was there too.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Luckily, you didn't get.
I wasn't that close. I was at a Bearcat that was probably 20 yards away from the house.
Oh, were you? Okay. That's still pretty doggone close.
Yeah.
But the Bearcat you were inside it?
I was outside.
Oh. But you could feel it?
Oh, yeah.
That had to be something. I can't imagine. I mean, do you guys know going in what you're walking into a little bit?
On that call, it's there was like conflicting information. Is this guy crazy and just, giving us, these crazy thoughts that he has, or does he actually have, a pipe bomb that has magnets that will stick to the bottom of our Bearcat? Like, those are the things he's telling us, and we're kind of like, that's a little unrealistic. Well, then we find out later he had pipe bombs that had, shrapnel in it and magnets on the outside. So, like,
He was serious.
he was serious what he was saying. It was just maybe we weren't taking it as serious as we should have.
A little more training on that. I mean, that was just a little extra training for you guys on that one then, huh? Yeah, that has to be scary. I don't think folks realize the when you walk up to a call, you don't know what you're walking into. I mean, prime example, yesterday.
Yeah.
But you guys walk up on these calls, that's got to be scary. Or, I mean, when you first started at 22, I can't imagine. I mean, what were you saying, about the same age?
I think it was like 25, 24, 25, about 25.
What was that first week like when you got out on the street?
So I was actually pretty mad. I wanted to go to Midnights on the east side and have all the fun. And I got assigned, of course, to day shift on the west side, which is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And then not only that, they put me in the most boring, slow zone that there is in the entire town. And I was like, man, this is going to be horrible. Like, it's going to drag on. And I think that my day one was probably still one of the craziest shifts that I've had. It was like absolute chaos, which is really weird. The rest of the time, it was absolutely what I thought it was going to be, extremely slow. But that first day, I was like, man, if this is day one on day shift north, I can only imagine what East Side Midnight is going to be. And then, it is more exciting on the east. But
I imagine you had pretty large eyeballs walking around, just trying to pick everything up.
Oh, I was just lost. I was just wandering around. My FTO was like basically just guiding me through, like, hey, this is not normal, but here, we'll go to this one. And like a heroin sales case on my second call ever.
On the west side?
On the west side. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So.
What about 21, 22 walking out there?
The biggest thing that I remember, like, chasing people and, the fast-paced stuff, you just kind of naturally do it. Like, I think we all have that mindset, like, hey, someone's running, like, let's go chase them, like, a dog to a rabbit, right? But I think the difficult part is being a 22-year-old with minimal life experience and having to tell people twice my age that are in a domestic dispute how to be adults and how to not fight each other and, like, actually talk about whatever problem they're having. And not having that life experience myself, I was like faking it till I make it, like just trying to be confident and tell these people what's up, even though they're, twice as old as me, or they could be my parents, right? Mm-hmm. And that was just probably the most difficult part.
Like, so you can't all be firemen and show up and be the hero, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have went that route. See, then you're always the hero when you show up.
I think about that sometimes.
I have a brother-in-law who's a fireman. I always give him a hard time about that. You just want to be the hero.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things you guys roll up on these scenes, and like I say, you don't know what you're walking into, but at the same time, I think you got to have that extra confidence walking in. So it's impressive that you do it. There was a really hard time over, especially during a lot of the BLM stuff, and then they weren't treating law enforcement properly in the streets a lot. Has that got better?
I think it's gotten better.
Has it?
I don't think it's 100% back to how it was like pre-2019, but it's definitely gotten better, especially here in Kern County. I feel like we have a lot of support from, the local citizens, and I think a lot of the people that were out in the streets and protesting and stuff like that were either from out of town or being fueled by something else. It wasn't the majority of our local people that were out doing that.
No, that's good. It seems like most of our community really supports you guys.
Yeah,
I agree.
And even in the political world, they seem to do a pretty good job of it. I'm sure there's some that don't. I know I've talked to a couple that I wouldn't want coming against me. So when you guys are out there on the streets, and one thing about Kern County, there are a lot of firearms. I mean, Donnie Youngblood has no qualms about issuing CCWs. But really, the folks that are getting the CCWs, you're not having encounters with a lot of them, I would imagine.
No, I mean, it happens every now and then where we do a traffic stop for a basic, traffic violation. And the person's a CCW holder and has his gun on them or something like that. 99% of the time, that person's like, hey, like, I have this. I want to be, like, honest with you and let you know where it's at and all that stuff, which is great. And then we just hey, you don't pull yours out, I won't pull mine out, you know? So.
Describe the perfect traffic stop for me. You guys both done traffic stops.
Yeah.
You walk up, what's the ideal for the person to do?
Like our perfect traffic stop?
Well, what would you want that person to do sitting in the
Someone
car?
that's armed?
Well, either or. You're
Okay.
going to walk up on a car. What? Here's something I see a lot nowadays, that everybody's tinting their damn front windows, and that drives me. Anytime I see it, I always think of you guys walking up on that. That's got to be hard. But say if you're walking, you pulled somebody over for speeding or what, it doesn't matter, whatever. What? How do you want them to act? What's that perfect scenario for you guys?
I'd say I work nights, and so we pull over a car. You don't know how many people are in, especially when they have the window tint. To make it as safe as you can, I would say roll down all your windows, and then just keep your hands on the steering wheel. When people start doing oddball things like sticking their hands out the window, it makes us think like, why are you doing that? Like, that's not normal. I don't know.
It's like too much.
It's too much. Like, you're doing something weird. If you just keep your hands on the steering wheel, you roll all your windows down, so when we're walking up, we can look inside, make sure there's nobody back there. Even if you're by yourself, and we don't know that, it could be 5 people in the back seat. And so I think that, and then like we'll tell you our name and why we stopped you, and then you hopefully have a license, registration, insurance. And then
I'm glad you said that, because I always put my hands on the window. I put them on the windowsill. I mean, but not that I haven't been pulled over a lot lately, but I'd keep them here. Then I said, oh, maybe I should put them here. So that's good to know.
I think one thing that people do that can be mistaken as something else is as we're walking up to the car, they start reaching to get like their license, their registration, stuff like that. I think it's better if you just roll down the windows, keep your hands on the steering wheel, let us come up and make contact with you. And as we ask for things, be like, hey, it's in my glove box. I'm going to reach in and grab it out of the glove box. And like, that's a good time too, to be like, hey, I have a firearm on me. It's in my front waistband or wherever it's at. And then you can ask the officer, like, do you still want me to reach into the glove box? Especially if your firearm's in there. Do you want me to step out so you can reach in and get it? Like something like that. Just, I would wait before you start digging around in the car until we make contact with you, and then let us know what you're going to do.
Yeah, you start seeing that car rocking, because you can see it moving. You're like, all right, there's something going on in there. You don't know what it is. Especially the windows are tinted and it's nighttime. Like, we kind of assume like you're trying to hide something. So,
why tap the taillight?
I don't do that.
I don't do that either. I think that's
you see all those videos. They go, why are they tapping the taillight?
I don't know. It's a movie thing.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. Is it a reality?
I've never heard like any FTOs teach any of their trainees that. And the only explanation I've ever heard is that in case something tragic happens, like if you got shot on the traffic stop, they can locate that car because you put your fingerprint on the taillight.
Okay.
But I don't know how realistic that is.
I always thought maybe a distraction, but just distract them or something. But like I said, you never know what's real, what's not. It's movies.
Yeah.
It's all movies.
Yeah.
So what is, when you guys are going out, you've had to have some oddball things show up with your dogs and just out and about. What do people not see? What is the fun side of law enforcement that the general public doesn't get to see that you can actually share?
I think for the K-9 side of things, it's I think we take pride in what we do, because the reason that we're there, the primary reason that we use the dogs, is to keep the other officers safe. So I think we have this sense of pride of like, hey, if we're there and we're taking over, like searching for this person, like we're going to do it safely to keep everybody else safe. And I don't think a lot of people understand the importance of that, especially people that aren't cops, that haven't done a search for an armed person without a dog, which is pretty scary. There's a sense of relief that we provide these officers to search behind the dog that people just don't understand unless they've done it. Like, there's an actual threat to these officers that are searching for an outstanding suspect. And for us to be there with our dogs and take a little bit of that danger away from them is huge. with keeping everybody safe.
I would imagine when you guys show up with the dog, it's got to. I'm sure it could amp up some, adrenaline in folks, but at the same time, that perpetrator or whoever's got to be like, I don't want the dog coming after me.
It's usually what happens. You get
95% of the time, probably.
Yeah, you get a lot of surrenders. Like, so we'll show up, get the dog out, make an announcement, dog starts barking, and then the person usually, if everything goes right, is like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to do this. They'll come out with their hands up or whatever. Sometimes they don't.
Oh.
They keep running, and the dog's usually faster. So.
Oh, God, yeah, those things. I mean, how fast do they run?
I have been trying to get our training. We have LiDAR guns at the department that will measure how fast something goes, like a car. And we've done it on people, so you can see, like, we can all race and see who runs fastest, right? It'll tell you how many miles per hour.
Yeah.
I want to do it with the dogs on a full send so we know, like, a number, but we still have not done it yet.
We had a small Belgian Malinois, like, when I first started, and he could get up to 20 miles an hour inside the arena during, like, the K-9 trial.
Oh, wow.
So in a very short distance, he was up to 20 miles an hour.
That's impressive. Now, do you go to those trials, the competitions? We sponsored one years ago. There's something to it. Come on.
The last trial that we did in Bakersfield that we put on was in 2019.
Oh.
And then all the COVID stuff happened, and we just haven't started ours back up. It wasn't until this year that we started going back to trials and competing in them. Me and another guy went to Murrieta's K-9 trial, and then also the Fresno County K-9 trial.
Yeah.
What happened at Fresno, Tyler?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, no, come on now. That's the fun stuff here.
What happened at Fresno?
I'm thinking it didn't go as well as you wanted.
No, it actually went a lot better than what I was thinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me and my partner ended up winning top dog, which is the top accolade,
That's pretty
the
impressive.
top team at this trial. So it was a good one. It's probably going to be his last trial anyways, so I'm glad he went out with getting a top dog. So
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Why wouldn't you want to share that?
I just don't like to brag.
He's
or
just
gloat.
so humble, but his dog is.
It wasn't you, it was your
awesome.
dog. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told him. I was like, these are all Kane's awards, not you. Like, what did you do? You just stood there. He did all the work. Like, but yeah, we were all proud of him.
Oh, yeah. That's something to be proud of.
But I think just overall too, like me and the other handler being able to go down, and even at Murrieta, we both placed in like 2 different events, and he got like first in obedience or second in obedience, first in protection, and then pretty much got the same awards at the Fresno County.
Oh, wow.
So like even just for both of us to go and represent Bakersfield in our K-9 unit, and the training and work that we put into these dogs was pretty awesome.
It seems like we get really, really fine training on even in the regular law enforcement. The guys on the street, even the sheriffs.
Yeah.
The training here seems much more stringent than a lot of other folks. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think kind of going back to like Tyler was saying, we all take pride in like our dogs doing well. You ask any of the handlers whose dog's the best one in the unit, they're gonna say their dog.
Oh, sure.
Whether or not that's true or not, but like we want our dogs to be the best to protect the officers, the community, all that, and so we do like competitions and stuff at training, like try to set up a scenario that like, hey, I'm going to try to make this dog not be able to do it. Just kind of pushing them all the time so that get out on the street and they've kind of seen everything.
Do you go out in the community? And when I was I had a grocery store down in Upland, outside of Rancho Cucamonga, and Upland PD came down and did some trainings at my grocery store. Actually, do you guys get to do that?
Yeah. So right now the K-9 unit trains every every Monday for 10 hours. We'll go to businesses at night. We have like their keys, their alarm codes.
Oh,
We contact somebody and just make sure we're good to be there. And we'll go at night to these businesses or schools or whatever it may be and do training scenarios and live searches. We put like, decoys out with the big suits, or we do somebody in plain clothes, the dog's in a muzzle, and we run scenarios at businesses. So it looks different in different businesses every week. So it looks different to the dog. We're not training at the same spot with the same environment all the time.
And the businesses around town are pretty cooperative with that.
Oh yeah.
They usually, they want us there because they're like, at least for sure tonight, we're not getting broken into. So, or if they do, we're probably gonna catch them.
Imagine this. You defend yourself or a loved one, and instead of being seen as the good guy, you're arrested, charged, and forced to fight for your freedom. You know you did nothing wrong, but now you're looking at thousands in legal fees. We've seen it happen. Good people losing everything just to prove they acted lawfully. That's why you need firearms legal protection. For as little as 33 cents a day, FLP gives you unlimited legal defense for criminal and civil cases. No caps, no hidden fees, no payback, just real protection with experienced self-defense attorneys who have your back. Plus, you'll get 24/7 attorney access, red flag protection, and more. Go to firearmslegal.com, pick your plan, and use promo code ECA for exclusive pricing, no setup fee, and a lifetime rate lock. Because when the worst day of your life happens, you shouldn't face it alone.
How is that with the folks downtown and the homeless problems and everything? I imagine that's keeping you guys pretty busy.
That's definitely a struggle area of the city that I see is hard to combat. We don't deal with it a whole lot because a lot of times they're breaking a window and maybe going in to steal like a bag of chips or something.
Yeah.
It's like they're causing more damage than what they're stealing just because they have nothing better to do and they want food or whatever. But we actually have a unit that's their primary role is to enforce and house homeless people and figure out how they can get them off the street. But it's a revolving door, right? They'll take someone, put them in a shelter, they get out, they start using again, and they're out on the streets, sleeping in front of people's businesses when they're trying to open up shop, and then they have to do it all over again. It's never like a permanent fix. It doesn't seem like it's just a temporary fix, and then they're back out.
And most of the folks you're dealing with, it's the drugs that are leading them out into the street. They're not hard times. I mean, that's part of it, I'm sure, but
there's a few people that choose to be homeless, but majority of them are homeless because they have a drug problem or some sort of mental health problem. But usually it's a combination of drugs.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's mostly drugs. Drugs cause mental health problems, and then your drugs and mental health.
Yeah, or drugs cause hard times.
Yeah.
And then they're on the streets still using drugs. So
we've talked to, or at least I have, like a transient, let's say, that's in front of a business, and we're like, hey man, like we can get you into the shelter, and no, I don't want to because of whatever. I can't go with my wife. I'm like, okay, well, there's another shelter we have that you can take your wife and you guys can stay together there. Well, I can't because of my dog. I'm like, oh, well, good news. They allow dogs. Well, I can't and they just don't want it. So you can't force help to people.
Because they have to stay clean while they're there. They can't use.
Most likely.
Yeah. That's what we run into. See, I was at Salvation Army yesterday and talking to those guys down there, and I think their program is awesome. I like what they do. And even with that, they're not full. They have room. And they're building more space, but they're never full.
Yeah.
There's always somebody out there to help them. So I wish there was a way to get them off the street corners. Stop begging for money, damn it. And stop giving them money.
I think a system that makes it easy for someone to be homeless, right, like, is a recipe for disaster, because why would somebody want to, have to have a job and go to work when they can stand there without any repercussion and ask people for money?
And get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes more than people going to work.
Oh, all the time. My niece ran away years ago, and she ran away from here. And actually, she was down by Jerry's Pizza first, and then she ended up in in Hollywood. But I had a buddy who was actually LAPD officer down there. He was my bread guy for years. He worked for Wonder Bread for 17 years. And then he decided to go be LAPD, which I'm like, what in the world are you doing? But he loved it. But we went down there and we found her. And talking to her, she said, well, we would just walk around. And we were changing. She said back then, because this was, that was probably 01, 02, somewhere around then, I guess. And she said, we were making $10, $12 an hour, just asking for change.
Yeah.
And then they could get 3 meals a day. They had a place to sleep at night. They had a place to do their laundry. They just made it so simple. She had no desire to go do anything else.
Yeah.
And they were all over. It was amazing the amount of kids we saw down there. West Hollywood at 2 a.m. is an interesting place. You know, we had no business being there.
Yeah.
Hell, Jerry's Pizza down there back then was a very interesting place at midnight or 1. I'm sure it still is for you guys at times.
Yeah, that whole downtown scene on the weekend nights gets a little wild
Does
sometimes.
it? Yeah. What can the business owners really do? How can they help you guys?
There's most of them are aware of it, especially the downtown businesses, but this Bakersfield app, they're allowed to get on there and, essentially say, hey, there's a large pile of trash here, or there's, human feces on the sidewalk here, or whatever it may be, and that gets routed to the correct people that work for the city to come out and dispose of the trash or clean off the sidewalk or whatever it may be. So I think a lot of businesses are using that resource right now. Other than that, just calling us and letting us know that there's a transient outside as you're trying to open up your business, and then our unit that's assigned to that, that's all they do. So they'll come out there, and they're familiar with all the people too that are transient, so they can deal with it a lot better than a normal patrol officer.
When you think about young kids that want to get into law enforcement, do you recommend it nowadays? I mean, I know it's hard times, but it seems like it's getting a little better, hopefully, for law enforcement. Is it a good time to go into law enforcement?
That question is hard to answer when you've worked, 10 years ago, there was no body cams. Things weren't being reviewed in hindsight, Monday morning quarterbacking all the decisions that we make. But I think if I were to put myself in someone's shoes that was going through the academy right now, and that they don't know any different than what they're going to come out and start working at, I think it's still an enjoyable career. You can have a lot of fun, and at times it's rewarding. But I think it's still worth it.
Yeah. You in that same boat?
Yeah, I would say so. I think, things are changing so fast that, 7 years ago, there was no body cams. Now everybody's got 2, and they've got, the newer models we're on, the 3rd one, but there's already a 4th one out of just one company. So being able to, kind of adapt, because I don't know. It's always changing. So it's hard to answer right in this very moment.
Right.
Yeah, I would say I think that it's worth it.
The body cams are an interesting thing because I know it was a big push, but in some ways it seems like it's helped you guys. So people are seeing what you're really having to deal with. So did you look at it as a negative at first and now it's a positive, or?
I'm on the fence to say that it's either positive or negative. I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it has its positive attributes, but I think there's a lot of negative things that come along with it. The negative things that I can think of are people being able to Monday morning quarterback you when they aren't there in the moment, having to make that decision. And then people using it, admin using it for disciplinary actions because, I had 55 seconds of standby instead of a minute because I was going to the bathroom before the call or stupid stuff like that. And then we have random body cam audits where supervisors get assigned a body cam footage and they literally go through the entire thing, making sure you didn't violate policy. I don't think that's how body cams were intended to be used by any department. I think it's good for evidence purposes.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for when departments get a complaint on an officer to be able to look back and see, did that actually happen or did it not? A lot of times they can look at body cam and be like, this complaint is completely invalid because we're able to watch this body cam footage and see exactly what the officer did.
Yeah.
I think to add on to that a little bit, like you were saying, for evidentiary purposes, like showing up to a homicide scene and it has everything exactly how it is. Like you can see everything on it for the most part. I mean, you got 30 cops on a homicide scene, so it's going to get every angle of it in some way. But like Tyler was saying, having them nitpicked, like if I were to record you for hours at a time, you're liable to make some mistakes. You should, like, no matter how minor, you might say something dumb, you might do something dumb, you might, who knows what. It's bound to happen, and I think that they're being monitored for that purpose a little bit too much.
I think if people would step back and look at themselves a little bit, I know I've said a lot of stuff that would be inappropriate here and there, or done stupid things, as everybody else does. And I just wish they would think about it that way when they're doing that. Yeah. But then again, the general public especially, not clip it, and use a portion and make the officer look bad. Yeah, that's what it seems like at times. It's like, what? Oh, use the whole damn video.
Yeah. We're not robots. Like, we're the same as anyone else. Like, so, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
What's interesting, you guys both have beards.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a newer thing, isn't it? Is it?
It started out as a no shave November, and then they're like, okay, we're going to extend it through December.
If you pay
for, what was it for?
It was like an extra $20. Fuzz, is it Fuzz for Funds?
Fuzz for Funds.
Something like that. So if you paid an extra $20, you could keep it until the new year, and then you had to shave it. So everyone, I think for the most part, just paid the $20 so they could keep their beard.
Oh, sure.
And then they were like, oh, yeah, just kidding. You guys can keep it. And we're like, well, what did we pay $20 for? Like, and then, so whatever. I mean, it was for a good cause, but yeah, they've let us start growing them out.
That's a relatively new thing, isn't it?
It's been probably a few years.
Has it?
I'd say
A
like
couple of years.
4-ish, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think it all kind of changed. The department in a whole kind of went towards, having external vests instead of the under the shirt armor, and then we're allowed to have baseball hats during the day, things like that. Whereas more modern uniform, and they went for a while to see what the community would think about beards, and there was no negative feedback. So they said, yeah, you guys can have them as long as they're, well trimmed and not out of control.
I bet you're trimming pretty soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to test it.
Yeah. You just kind of see how far you can dance on the line. So.
As everybody does in every job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where you're at. I do it on my day-to-day job. Yeah. I tell you got to learn to tell me no. That's fine. So, I hadn't really thought about it when I saw you both with the beards. I know some old friends, they weren't allowed, and they had the haircut, everything.
Oh yeah.
So
they're real strict about it before.
Yeah.
You only have a mustache.
Well, now you got a new chief too, right?
Yeah, new chief coming up.
When does he start?
Beginning of next month.
That's pretty exciting. I've heard a lot of great things about him.
Yeah.
It was it seemed like he was the choice that everybody wanted.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Because he'd been with the department a long time.
Yeah. And he does a lot of other things on the side, like he's the president of Cato, so he's like real involved.
What's Cato?
Cato is the California Association of Tactical Officers.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much like the association for SWAT teams throughout, all of California.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's a good person to have there then.
Yeah.
What would you want people to, like I said, the young guys coming up that they're thinking about being law enforcement, what would you want them to, or advise them to do to help get ready for it?
I'm somewhat biased on this. I'm teach at the academy, and we do PT, and then also teach crimes in progress. But the PT side of it, being in shape, like if you show up on day one and you can't do a single push-up or a single sit-up, it's probably not the right job for you. I'm still curious as to how you got out of bed if you can't lift yourself off the ground. But like being able to run, like there's, say what, 90% of our day is probably sitting down in a car or like standing up taking a report, but not doing anything like that strenuous. But then there's that 10%, and it's the most important 10% is like all out sprinting, jumping fences, helping your partners. So that part is important. So I would say that.
One of the things that I was talking to Donnie Youngblood about a while back, actually, is that should officers be required to do more hand-to-hand combat training? Maybe I would recommend it before they got on the force department, but is that something that because your guys' job, you're putting hands on people.
Yeah.
Right? Do jujitsu, do something. Would you guys support having that as some type of requirement? Or is it that I don't know about?
It's not a requirement to, get into the academy, but I think our academy is becoming more designed around that thought of like being good at wrestling or jujitsu or some sort of ground fighting, so that when you do go hands-on with people and they resist, like, you're confident with what you're going to do. Especially, I feel like these newer generations are a little bit softer than what the older generations were. So I think a lot of people going into the academy now would benefit from, that sort of training.
Yeah, like
You see it more than I do in the academy. So
yeah, never a lot of people coming in like never been punched in the face, like ever. And, like, you don't want the first time. I mean, it's not, because we take care of that kind of stuff in the academy. Like,
I've heard that.
Red Man.
yeah, like you have to do a force on force before you can graduate. But like, I don't know, if you're on the street and that, like, the first time you get punched in the face that's not good.
No.
At all.
It's be a shock to the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when my son he actually went through the academy. He was sheriff years ago, and he had been through boot camp in the Army, and then years later he went through the academy, and he said that the academy here was 10 times harder than boot camp. It was just, I remember watching him come home every night because he lived here at the time, and it was just like, holy crap, they're just beating the hell out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good. I'm glad somebody else was doing it, but he needed it. But he definitely got in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
And then the Red Man, I understand that a little bit.
It's we have a lot of good officers. That one of the current, it was funny, one of the current DTAC instructors, when he went through the academy, he's a Division I college wrestler, and he's big. And we didn't have any staff that could single-handedly beat him at anything. So they ended up just saying oh, family members got here, and then they all just jumped in because he has to lose, but they couldn't get him to lose except if they put more people on top of him. So they finally made it work. But he's currently an instructor, so we don't really have that problem anymore.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, we have just more opportunity to do that training too as officers. Like, they have open mat, I think twice a week, with several different time frames. So
okay.
You can go to our training facility as an officer. You can go out there and get some extra training with our defensive tactics instructors, whatever you want to work on. If you want to work on boxing or ground fighting, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, they'll go as slow as you need them to go, step by step, or you can go full on 100% and have some fun with it.
Be a little sore tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's becoming more of a thing for our department as well, as having that training available to us. We just have to go to it, essentially.
But you wouldn't necessarily support it being a requirement, but
Not necessarily. I think with the academy how it is, and having that available after the academy, I think it would be beneficial, but not a requirement.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've watched. Now, do you guys still do shared academies or no?
No, we do our own.
Where I met you guys, is that where you're doing it, or
No, so that's our range and our K-9 facility
okay.
over there. But we have the old Mexican restaurant that still looks like a Mexican restaurant
good.
off California and Easton.
Oh,
That's
okay.
our BPD academy facility.
Okay.
So there's classrooms in there. There's a weight room, and then there's an entire metal building that's a mat room for defensive tactics stuff.
How are the numbers coming along? Are you getting plenty of people applying nowadays? Are you understaffed?
I don't deal too much with hiring. I do the testing, the PT testing. If you pass it, then you continue on the process, go to backgrounds and whatnot. Seems like we still have quite a few applicants. This academy right now, I think, is at 40-ish people. So it's one of the bigger ones that we've had in the last couple of years.
If you have a class of 40, how many actually come out the other end?
Maybe low 30s.
Oh, that's pretty good then.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I was really expecting low 20s.
No,
So-
well, it's different now a little bit. When I went through, we started with 32 and we graduated 14, so it was like half. But
Is that because the standards changed?
yes,
They've been adjusted a little.
I think so.
I think it's a little less stress than it used to be.
Yeah.
So
Like they want you to succeed, so they're gonna like push you to the point of maybe like you're about to quit, and then they kind of like take a step back. Versus before, it was like just like
if they're gonna quit. They're gonna quit.
yeah,
Keep
you want to
going.
quit. I don't care if we graduate 0. Like that was probably the mindset back then. But
Yeah. I can see both sides of that, I guess. But I certainly don't want a softer cops coming out. It's, yeah, no. And I'm sure you don't want that coming as your backup.
Right.
So that's, I have 2 daughters also, and I've always told my girls they could do anything in the world they want. I don't put any limitations on anything when they were growing up, except you can't go into law enforcement. You can't be a fireman, because I would hate to, and I know you guys can't say that, but I can. I would hate to see a 90-pound woman show up as my backup. I'd rather have a 220-pound man show up as my backup. So, but they'd call me names for that. So that's okay. Yeah.
What about a 120-pound man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Gain some weight, man.
my 120 pounds and my 75-pound Mal. Take
Evens
just
out.
you. Yeah, we make ourselves a 220-pound man, I guess.
Yeah, well, it happens too. So, no, it's like I said, we just really want to get you guys out and let folks see you guys and see the good side of things. It's when we think about law enforcement showing up, it's very seldom because it was a good thing. It's usually a rough day. We used to do the DARE events. Were you ever involved in any of those?
Yeah, in elementary school.
Yeah,
Not as a cop. I think they got rid of DARE
Yeah.
years before I became an officer.
yeah. I think that would be a fun one to bring back, quite honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of good in that.
I just like the idea of the kids seeing you guys in a fun time. They need to see, especially in certain neighborhoods. It's only going to be, well, like I said, we're here in Oildale, so yeah.
Well, we do it a lot with the K-9 unit. We go to schools all the time, and we do K-9 demos where we get the dog out. We do something usually funny with the dog, and explaining them what we do with the dogs, and show them some of the like training stuff. And 100% of the time, the kids love it, and we get nothing but good feedback from principals and teachers and stuff like that. So we still do things to get involved with kids, but it's definitely not as involved as the DARE program.
Do they let you guys come on campus and search with your dogs? Are you able to, like at Kern High, do they ever have you come in?
Kern High has their own detection dogs.
And do they walk the campuses?
I believe so.
It seems like it'd be a great thing. Yeah, they kind of have their own department within your department, don't they?
It's just Kern High Police Department.
Oh, it's not even part of BPD.
Not associated with Bakersfield Police Department at all.
Oh. Do they have to go through your academy? Or
They have to be a California post-certified officer to get picked up by them. Usually it's a lot of laterals.
Okay.
People close to retirement might lateral to the Kern High district, or
I got you.
they don't have to be close to retirement anymore. Some people that are just kind of like fed up might leave and go to Kern High, or even CSUB.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd rather deal with the general public sometimes than high school kids.
Yeah.
That's I'm on campus an awful lot. I threw where I was at this morning, actually, cooking for them. But they're different than when I was in school. Very different. It's probably even different from when you were in school.
Oh, yeah.
Being that you're at the academy, kind of our thought is there's new rules coming in now, isn't there? Pretty soon about to go into law enforcement. Don't you have to be 25 and have a degree, something like that, coming in the near future?
They've talked about it. I don't know if it'll end up happening or not. It hasn't gone into effect yet. I do know that. I've heard the rumors about that, and I don't know. It has pros and cons too. I mean, you're going to limit your pool of people, because by 25, this isn't everyone, but if you're pretty like normal, staying out of trouble and whatnot, you likely already have a job, and then you're gonna get rid of that to try to go through the academy and hope that you don't get hurt or you get kicked out and then you lose. Now where are you at? So 21 seems to be the age, like the law says you can drink and you can make your own decisions. So,
Yeah,
I mean, there's a reason that it's that old for that. So
that makes sense. You support it that way? The same type of thing?
Yeah, I think part of that rumor is also that they need a bachelor's degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to limit our pool tremendously. It's not impossible to hire officers right now, but I think if that was the requirement, they'd be pretty close to impossible. We'd be having academies of 10, 15 people, I think.
Yeah, I thought Newsom had signed it actually for 28, but hopefully not.
that
Then
would
again,
surprise me.
No, not at all. Not at all. We'll see what happens. There's hope. There's hope out there.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to talk politics at all? Who do you support?
I like to see Chad Bianco. He was just at a demo where he got to talk to him, so he can probably talk more about him than I can. But
Because I'm curious. We had Hilton on, and I was actually very impressed with Hilton. I was surprised, and Bianco hasn't come on, but we've talked a lot, so hopefully we'll get him on one day. But you think he'd be good?
Yeah, he was really cool. I think he's, from what I've been told, the Riverside County Sheriff, their department, when he took over, like, everyone loved it immediately. Like, changed the culture. It went from not that great to, like, everyone wanted to go there.
Okay.
So, I mean, he was really cool to us when he was here for the event that we had. That's who I'm voting for.
Either one of those two is an upgrade. I have
definitely.
and especially over the ones that run on the other side.
Yeah.
Good God. I don't know how they could have Swalwell or that Porter chick. She's a mess. God, she could be worse than Newsom. And that's hard to think.
yeah,
But he'll still get 40 million votes for president. Just watch.
From people alive, or
Yeah, well, maybe some. A good portion. Yeah, he'll get about 3 or 4 million of dead people, I'm sure.
yeah.
No, I'm definitely not a fan of mail-in ballots or any of that, but unless you have a damn good reason. You live in the mountains, or you're working. I don't know. You have to fill something out. There's too much fraud, even though I don't know if we can prove it or not. But now, with this latest federal administration, has that helped you guys? Has it done anything for the local law enforcement?
not really. I mean, we don't see a whole lot of change when the federal stuff changes. It's all local government, local laws. So a lot of it's going to be just at the state level.
Oh,
It helps with my taxes. So
My tax return was way better.
Was it?
That helped.
You know, it's funny. Last time when he was in office, obviously, I paid more taxes, but I had more money. That was the thing. I mean, now, we're getting killed with fuel, but hopefully, you guys aren't old enough to remember when they had the hostages back then, when this all started in '79. So I was just a kid, but I watched all that when Reagan came into office. So it's been going on for 47 years. Hopefully this will end it. We'll see. Yeah. And if they truly get fuel back down or oil back down to $70 a barrel, we'll be able to fill up our trucks again.
So I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. One question that I did ask a couple law enforcement guys, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on it. We have, because I'm a Second Amendment guy, but people should be able to own firearms. When you see, now if you're a felon, you cannot own a firearm. Surprised me that our sheriff actually agreed with me to an extent that after a certain amount of time, if they've been able to keep a straight and narrow for X amount of years, would you guys support them getting their ability back to own a firearm? Or is that a lifetime ban in your mind?
I think for certain offenses, it should be a lifetime ban.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
But for other things, I think, having a time period where you stay clean for this long and you get this right back, I could probably support that. But I think there's certain offenses like, domestic violence, for instance, then you probably shouldn't ever have the opportunity or be legally able to possess a firearm.
That makes sense. I think of some people that I know that when they were young did stupid stuff, and now they're in their 40s and 50s or 60s and they still can't own a firearm. And it hurts their ability to protect their family.
Yeah.
But like you said, they got to be clean a long time. They got to be, and certain things. You're absolutely right. Where were you at on that one? You think?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Like, I mean, as a random example, I guess, like if you got caught with a little bit of meth back, 40 years ago, and it's felony, now you can't own, even though now that crime is only a misdemeanor, or if that. Those kind of ones, like, yeah, if you're no longer using, you haven't used since then, like maybe you're just a dumb kid at some point. Sure. But I also see the way that the criminal justice system works, and if you allow some leniency, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then there's all of a sudden there is no law. It's just you can do whatever you want.
I think that's where I always felt like that 3 strikes law, people just really didn't understand that at all. Because, I mean, you see it more than anybody, but if somebody was truly convicted of 3 violent crimes, then they probably did 20. Because Lord knows they got pled down a lot.
Yeah.
But we see even here, our DA pleads them down more than I like. But that's what, I don't get it. I know there's room in these prisons.
A lot of guys, they're willing to take the first and the second strike, even if it's a plea. But when it comes to that third one, they really want to fight it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like you've been given so many chances already, and it's the way the system is designed is to give too many chances, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what we got to deal with.
Well, you guys see it, so you know more than anybody. That's the way I've always kind of looked at it. You know better than most if you're out in it. That's. I could, and then we'll end it on that in a way. Just what would you want people to know? Going out there, is there something that you guys are walking into these situations? Just let them know that when that deputy walks up, they're always there to help. They're not coming in a bad way. So, how can I don't know the way to word it, I guess, but how could you get that out to them? But just to the general public.
I think that. Like if we show up, we're asking, ordering, telling you to do something, just do it. It's for a reason, whether or not you understand it. It'll get explained to you after, or we'll try to explain it before. But, if it's like that crazy of an emergency, we don't have time to sit and explain to every single person why we want them to sit down right now. I think that, like if you comply and whatnot, there's nothing bad's going to happen to you.
Yeah, I think if any type of law enforcement is giving you an order or asking you to do something, as long as they're not violating your rights, and know too that majority of the time they're going to have a body cam that's going to be recording, to help protect you as well. You can have some peace of mind knowing that there's a body cam rolling, so nothing crazy is going to happen. If you just cooperate with whatever the officer is saying, and you can ask questions later, most of the time we'll sit down, we'll explain it to you. We'll give you reasons why we had to do what we had to do. But questioning it in the moment when we may need to get to something, more dangerous or something that, is actively occurring, we just need cooperation real quick, and then we'll deal with, explaining to people why we had to do it later.
Actually, I have a real quick story on basically that.
Yeah.
We had this guy that was continually robbing stores at gunpoint, like nonstop. Same guy, same description, same clothing. I don't know if it was his lucky clothes because he got away with it so many times, but every single time. And so one night, there's all kinds of overtime bodies. Like it is a manhunt for this guy to try to stop him. And we get a call for a robbery in progress, same description. They say which way he goes. So I'm pretty close to it, and a bunch of us are flying over there, and a guy that to the T matches the description like perfectly. We get out, gunpoint, and he's like, "What? Like I didn't do anything." What everyone says, even
sure,
if
absolutely,
he actually didn't, but we didn't know that. Match the description, we're like 100% this is him. There's no way it's not. Then we had the witness come over and look at him, and she's like, "That's not him." And then, so he's in the back of the car, and he was like, why am I, like, he was mad, understandably, like, he didn't do anything wrong. He just got a bunch of guns pointed at him, like, all that. And so then we were like, hey, listen, look at we showed him our computer, like, this is what our description says, and then look at what you're wearing. And he like looks and he's like, I would have stopped me too. Like, there you go. And then he was fine with it after that. We explained it, but like we didn't just pick some guy at random and be like, hey, you. Like, it never happens like that. There's a reason for it. Yeah. So
and he complied, so it worked out.
Yeah, and then nothing happened. He gets it. We just let him go.
Well, one of the things we always do give you guys gifts for showing up.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Least we can do. You know, I think they're pretty cool.
Do we open one?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. We know you guys are limited on your time. We took you away from your family today, so we appreciate you doing that. You know, it is a little bit of a political statement on there. I hope that's okay.
That's perfectly fine. Oh, awesome. Oh,
so,
yeah.
And it actually does keep the ice very well, even in Bakersfield. Sweet. So, you know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And, you know, if anything we could ever do to help, please reach out and let us know. Anything you want to end with, or you're good? I think we covered a lot of this stuff.
Just one more thing, just coming from the K-9 unit, and there's been bills that have been put out to get rid of K-9s in California, which I think is crazy.
Oh, wow.
The K-9 in law enforcement is a tool that is unmatched, and it's the most utilized tool, and it helps de-escalate situations. If we got rid of them, there'd be more officers getting hurt. There'd be more officer-involved shootings. There'd be more suspects getting hurt. I think it's really important to keep K-9s in law enforcement. So I'd hate to see a bill like that actually pass. So
I'd heard something. You know, is there a bill out there right now to do that? Do you know?
As far as I know, it was stopped at whatever level. Probably getting revamped in some sort of way. They tried to make K-9s be considered deadly force at one point, and that was part of that bill, which would essentially take us out of being used for pretty much every call unless someone was shooting at us.
Right.
Which in that point, I'm going to shoot back. I'm not going to send my dog. But yeah, as far as I know, the current bill is paused, and it's not at any approval stage, but it's something that could be coming out in the future.
All the more reason to go vote.
Correct.
For Bianco, or either one of them.
Yep.
Either one of those two hopefully will support it. That's, but you sure as hell are not going to get that with Swalwell or Porter. That's just going to be a continuation of the disaster we're in.
Yeah.
So that's insane. If you do hear about that, please reach out. Let us know.
Okay.
Actually, I'll reach out to Stan Ellis and ask him, just find out where that's at, because he's come on. He's a great guy, you know, and he's so frustrated with what's going on up there. You know, it cost us $131,000 an hour to run the state assembly. He ran because as a business guy, you're going to do it. You sit there and you look, you go, okay, we're paying everybody this, we're paying this, and he said he ran the numbers, $131,000 an hour, and they don't do a damn thing until the last 3 weeks of session. He said, then all of a sudden we're working till 1 a.m, 2 a.m, doing stuff.
That's insane.
He was disgusted. He's like, one term, I'm out. And I don't get it. So, but that was another story. Well, very good, guys. I appreciate you taking the time. Sorry we had to miss last time. You know, evidently, you know who he is now. So, because we just got a nice shot of him. Same thing. Actually, we identified him by his clothes.
Oh, nice.
He got home, changed clothes, and when the deputy walked in the house, he go, "Was this what he was wearing?" Sure enough, put the camera up, wearing the exact same clothes. So, you never know. Well, very good. Well, thank you much, and we'll end it on that.
Thank you.